Gets you through my morning every day.
Ladies and gentlemen, Adelaide's Jodie and Hazy on Nova.
Fitzy Fridays, Fitzy Fridays, Fitzy Fridays.
Guys, I've said this before, I'll say it again. A Friday isn't a Friday without a nice little chat with our boy Ryan Fitzy Fitzgerald.
It just simply doesn't work. We can't round out the week and not speak to Fitzy.
You cannot start the weekend without your fix of Fitzy.
Yeah.
And I say that to my wife every week, but she doesn't listen.
And she's getting through. She's getting through.
Yeah. And unfortunately, when we do start living together, I think we can spend more time with each other. Do you know what? Did you read the story during the week? There's a lot more couples out there. They're not actually sleeping in separate bedrooms, but they're actually... You can now buy double bed bunk beds.
Yes.
So they're double beds, but they're bunks, Jode, so you can sleep in the same room but not next to each other. I don't mind it. It's a good idea.
You're still sort of sleeping on top of your partner, though, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, you are. Which one would you take? You've got to go. You get a better view from up the top, but going for a wee in the middle of the night's tough, very tough.
But Fitzy, because I'm a gentleman, and as we know, hot air rises, I'll take the top bunk.
Oh, that's good.
There we go.
Good of you, isn't it?
Just don't light a match up there because the whole place would explode.
The roof is on fire.
Can you remember when you were a kid and you'd go on school camp and everyone would sprint into the dorm to try and get the top bunk? Can you remember when that was a thing?
That was a cool thing.
So good. Did you go to Crystal Brook? Where did you go, Jodes? Crystal Brook, we did Meadows. Do you remember? Did you go to the water skiing park at Meadows?
No, I grew up in Hobart, Tasmania, Fitzy, so that's
gotcha.
where I was going. I went to Bruny Island and I peed in my suit, literally peed in my tent.
Yeah, and that was last Christmas.
Well, you did at the Christmas party last year as well. But yeah, I do remember, and Wirianda High School, our Year 8 camp, I was going out with Kristen Murray, and unfortunately got very nervous that I had to kiss her on the camp and got a cold sore leading up to it. I got pulled aside from a couple of her friends and said, unfortunately, I got a message for you from Kristen, you dumped. Game over. It was the worst camp ever.
That's awful.
But made a new friend and he resided on your top lip. Nice.
Yeah, that's right. The cold sore, and I've had them ever since for the rest of my life.
You poor little
Well, thanks for having me, guys. That was a bit of a therapy session. I appreciate it.
Thanks. Who knew that Fitzy had herpes anyway?
No. Just before we let you go, we do want to make honourable mention of the fact that you made our top. I think we said you were the sexiest South Australian bald man.
Yeah, I think it was a battle for second, to be honest with you, Fitzy.
Thank you. I was receiving a lot of messages on social media from your listeners saying, well done, Fitzy, for making the top 5. Didn't make it globally, and unfortunately Prince William's taken it out again. Did you put together a South Australian top 5 bald man?
Yeah, we did. For example, Sam Powell Pepper, because he's a bloke who doesn't have to be bald, but he chooses to be. And I was saying that, he just got married the other day, and everyone's talking about his beautiful bride, as they should. But I'm talking about Sam Powell Pepper. He looked magnificent. Phil Smythe as well.
Oh yeah, the general. Yeah, you got to put the general in there, don't you? There's a lot. Andrew Jarman. Jars is a very hot. He's not really, but he uses confidence.
Yeah.
Port Adelaide do have quite a few bald. I mean, Chad Corns is quite hot, but I'm honoured to be. That's an amazing list to be a part of. I might frame that and put it up in the courtroom.
Koshy as well.
Yeah, Koshy.
Koshy's Port Adelaide too.
Yeah.
What is going on with Port Adelaide? Chris Davies. Chris Davies.
What's happening? They got a bit too much bloody lead in the water there or something.
Very intimidating man, Chris Davies.
I love Chris Davies.
Oh, dear. Fitzy, thank you so much for having a chat with us again this week. And, yes, once again, congratulations on being a sexy bald man.
Thanks, guys. Have a lovely weekend.
And we don't want to paint a bad picture, but picture Ryan Fitzgerald completely bald with cold sore.
Your father, he's on the naughty list.
Jodie and Hazy's Naughty at 6:40.
Naughty.
Chance for us just to get probably the blue sort of naughty stuff out of our system to probably straighten up ever so slightly after 7 o'clock, Joe.
So true. Peeing in the shower.
Yes.
Thoughts, feelings and emotions surrounding it.
My thoughts are this. I think we've had this discussion before. I'm all for it. In fact, I've never seen a shower. I've never been in a shower where I haven't left just even the slightest bit of urine there.
Wow.
Can't help it.
Wow.
It's convenient.
Does it ever not occur to you that the same place that you're peeing, as in the shower floor, is where your kids probably sit and play in the shower?
Yes, that has been brought up to me several times by my wife.
Oh, right.
Yes, and she's aggressively against it too, by the way.
Yes.
Oh, gosh, don't wee in the shower. Stop weeing on the walls, all those types of things. I'm like, what are you talking about? Just live a little. Now, can I just say
Go on.
that I shoot directly down the drain,
Oh,
okay?
okay.
It's not like a random hose going everywhere.
No.
Like, it's directly, so almost, and I'm straight shooting too. It's not even hitting the sides.
Yeah. So you pride yourself on your accuracy in this space.
Extremely accurate. The Steph Curry of pissing, they call me. Can I say that? It's a bit aggressive. He'd be very good, though. How good would Steph Curry be at just being a straight shooter?
Yeah. What's his shooting percentage?
Oh, jeez.
What
I
about-
reckon you go about 65%.
Yeah, right.
It's actually quite good.
Yeah, okay.
Some health gurus have suggested that peeing in the shower can be good for the planet. Finally, we've got some allies in this space. The average household could potentially save more than 4,000 litres of water annually by taking a little Steph Curry piss in the shower. Finally, some sort of ally in this space.
Yeah, so it's good for you men, that's fine. Apparently not so good for us women though, because apparently peeing in the shower will ruin our pelvic floors. Like we haven't got enough to contend with, like birthing small watermelons.
Why is it so bad for you standing up?
Well, because I think sitting down you've got more, I'm completely and utterly making this up, but I would assume that you've got more control. And also that's when you're supposed to practice what they call the Kegels. So when women pee... Oh, God, am I having this discussion with you right now?
I think you are. Please, at the age of just under 40, I'm happy to learn new things.
So when, say, Cara, your wife, for example, pees on the toilet, you're supposed to contract, like stop it and do that because that strengthens your pelvic floor. So you cut off the supply, basically.
Yeah, right.
As a rehearsal to train your pelvic floor to be able to contract.
Yeah, it really works your transverse muscles.
Yes.
Yes, your transverse abdominals.
Here we go.
See, I know that as well. So blokes can do that also, but when you do that when you wee, it really quite stings. So the whole thing is once you start, it's really hard to stop.
Oh, so it stings men, does it?
It stings men, yeah.
Sorry, I thought you were mansplaining how it feels for a woman to pee and then cut it off.
Yes.
Sorry, I thought that was what was happening.
No, I'm not doing that. I learned from that. Remember when I said to my wife that the cramp in my groin was probably worse than the childbirth that she went through? Didn't go down well.
No.
Also, I would imagine as well, I'm not an expert in this field, but I
No,
would
you're
imagine
not. Just remember that.
that standing up doing away in the shower, there could be some issues with accuracy for women.
Oh, it's
that fair?
it's not as easy to control, yes.
Yes, okay.
And also, the other thing is they don't want you to associate running water with peeing. So, for example, when I go to bed at night and I play rain sounds to help me nod off to sleep, they don't want that to prompt that reaction because you've heard water that you're going to piss yourself.
How many times, well, here's one for you, how many times have you pissed yourself and then blamed your 5-year-old?
I need you to confirm or deny something for me. Was there an occasion where you single-handedly nearly shut down the entire race?
Oh, I don't know about shut down the entire race, but I certainly I certainly unfortunately caused quite a few admin errors because you know me, Jodes. I'm not quite a wizard when it comes to computertry.
No,
And
the
who
fact that
is
you
good?
just called it computer
Who
tree
is
means
good at
you are not a
computer tree?
wizard as it.
Who is actually good at computertry these days? Not me.
No, IT people?
Oh, so we got asked about a week ago if you needed a pass for the Velo
Accreditation.
Adelaide 500, if you needed accreditation to pop through your details. Very, very extensive little thing through to the administration via computertree. And I put through all of my details and everything seemed pretty smooth. And then all of a sudden I got an email back. And they're lovely too, the staff at Adelaide 500, all the media staff, saying, oh, look, there's been a bit of an error here and it's actually caused our system to melt down. You put in all your details and then in the question where it said how many accreditations would you like, you said 1,000. It was a lovely lady by the name of Sammy McLaughlin, and she said, so I'm guessing you don't need 1,000 passes? I got a lot of friends,
Yeah.
but not that many friends.
No.
Who wants tickets to the 500?
That's
Give me-
outstanding.
Get me 1,000 passes, thanks.
Yeah.
So I said, no, do you know what? I'll just take the one. That's fine.
And also, is Sammy aware that you actually never, ever, ever, ever go to anything that you say you're going to go to anyway? So it doesn't matter. You don't even need one.
There's 1,000 spare seats.
What about that Rosalind Park couple who came home from work to find a koala in their bedroom?
Love this story. It's so Australian.
It's so quintessentially Aussie, isn't it? So Fran and Bruno came home just after midnight from work and found a koala just sort of ruffling through her bedside table. Can you imagine that?
Dead set. He was wearing a balaclava. He had a sack. He was carrying a sack as well.
Just looking for grandma's jewellery. So we caught up with Fran and Bruno yesterday and they recounted the moment that they came home and found a furry little koala in their bedroom.
I opened the door and I didn't saw my dog. So I thought this was a little bit odd because he always welcomes us when you come home. I was looking for him and I come from my walkway and I saw him sleeping in his bed in my bedroom. And I said, "Oh, your lazy dog, you're there." And I come to the kitchen, make some food, and I come back to my bedroom when I saw the koala grabbing my dog's bed. And on that, and I screamed, "Oh my God, Bruno, there is a koala in your bedroom." And he said, "Oh no, you lie. That's not possible." And I told him, "Come to see by yourself."
Wow.
Oh, friend, the thing I love the most is the koala looks back and it looks back at you guys as if to say, "Oh, you're home."
He was like, "Lady, why are you screaming?"
Oh, wow. And so had you ever really seen koalas before?
But never in my backyard, for example, and definitely not my bedroom.
No.
There you go. This is how stereotypes are born in Australia.
Yeah. It came in through the doggy door. It just
That's amazing.
found its way in. Oh, my God. We went for a walk at the Cleveland National Park the other day. I dragged my teenager out of the house. I'm like, "You're going for a walk." And it was pretty damn bland until we saw two massive koalas just like cruising around eating eucalyptus in a tree. But they're big units.
Oh, they're big boys. And you get them on the wrong day and you just go out to shake your hand, they will potentially take it clean off. They're very... bang! Quick, swift movement. You lost your hand.
Koalas are equal parts like so cute and so fluffy and gorgeous, but also terrifying.
Moody.
Koalas.
We would often... I reckon it's happened about 2 or 3 times now where we found a rat in the bed. And no, I'm not talking about myself.
What do you mean?
Our cat, Houston, will go through this phase. He's a bit older now.
Yeah.
So I think his rat catching days are done. But right in the prime.
Let's all stop and say a prayer for that.
Yeah. In his prime, when he was very, very generous because he was trying to give us gifts, he'd bring back rats. And several times he would bring back a rat that wasn't quite dead. So he'd wake up or he'd come back and there's a rat in the bed that is genuinely alive.
Are you kidding? Oh.
It's very confronting.
No one.
Yes.
No wonder you call Houston a D-head on a regular.
And then he'd leave this rat in the bed and literally strut out, look back over his shoulder and go, "You're welcome, sweetie."
Jodie's diary. This is, if you're uninitiated in this space, it's a collection of thoughts for the week, things that have happened, things that have been unfortunate, things that have been fortunate. The whole thing's a big misfortune, to be honest with you.
It can be a nervous time as well for those around you.
Especially if you haven't heard it, like you, Andrew Hayes.
Okay. This is Jodie's diary, the week that was, through the eyes of Jodie.
Jodie's diary.
Dear diary, well, it was the week that big old Burma the elephant arrived in Adelaide. It's a big farce, isn't it?
Yeah.
On an elephant. It's a massive ass.
It's a big old beehive. That's fine. And that's such an appropriate name too, by the way, Burma.
Yeah.
Seems like something quite large.
Yeah. Can you imagine getting stuck behind the elephant and you're driving to Mount Barker and you've had a long day at work and you're stuck behind an elephant's ass the whole way up the freeway? Are we on air?
$5,000 to spend at Kitchen Warehouse. What would you do at Kitchen Warehouse
Oh
for
my
$5,000?
God, I need saucepans. So many saucepans.
Oh, tell me more about that in the ad. When I say ad, I mean kid. When I say kid, I mean song. The Kid Leroy, it's Nova. I'm sick.
No, really, are we on air or are we off air? Okay, right. And so my question to you, Andrew Hayes, is there a chance that Port could meet the Crows before the grand final, if indeed they both make it?
We were talking about this off air and I said, please don't ask me on air, but here we are.
New couple alert, you guys. I did not know that Tate McRae was the Kid Leroy's girlfriend.
Right,
I didn't know it.
So just confirmation, this is your fun fact? Is this your fun fact?
Yep.
Okay, great.
I'll stick by it.
Thanks for joining in. Jace. Appreciate it.
13 24 10. If you did not know that Tate McRae and the Kid Leroy were a thing, give us a call now. Back me up, please, because I had no idea until the code word hit my desk.
Yes.
Okay?
You should be a reporter for TMZ.
Wow. Here she is, producer Zoe, our resident climate warrior.
The petition princess, though, is in the house, and that's producer Zoe.
Yeah.
Talking petitions, bring in the woke lefty.
Our little Gen Z climate warrior. Producer Zoe joins us now.
Who sometimes, when she doesn't get her coffee, will glue herself
Oh my God.
to the desk.
I'm not in the Extinction
Protest.
Rebellion.
We got a new catchphrase this week.
It's got that dog in them. Good on them.
The Gather Round fixture was released as the Saints overtook North Melbourne for the most disappointing team in the AFL.
Well, look, I love Norwood Oval when I go watch Sandful, but it's like you're putting St Kilda at the kids' table. We always get put at Norwood Oval. Why can't we get an Adelaide Oval game, like a proper venue?
Well, I know, because you're St Kilda.
Yes. I'll say this much.
You know what? That's fair.
If you're sitting at the kids' table, as soon as St Kilda grows up and plays some decent footy,
I learnt not to ever mention going to a certain someone's house. Is why I have no trust in you, because I told you a story off air and I said do not bring that up on air because you will just try to humiliate me, which is what you're doing.
we said who wears a famous number, Michael Jordan. I said maybe Shane Warne did as well, and you just went into this rant about going to Shane Warne's house.
No, I didn't.
But you were real casual about it. You know, people drop names, but they're real casual. I think you were calling him Warno or something. You're like, I am your mate Warno. Yeah, so I went to Warno's house and...
That is definitely not what I said.
That's not what happened. Actually, what happened is you're like, I've actually been to Shane's house, but I don't want to tell you because you'll absolutely smash me.
Exactly. You will smash the life out of me.
What was Warnie's house like?
It's lovely.
Yeah?
It was lovely. But he did have tiled into his pool the number 23. Can you imagine that? Hey, has anyone else noticed that Hazy has a really stunning forehead? Your forehead.
It's prominent, isn't it? Oh my
I'm sorry.
gosh!
I'm sorry.
There's more of me to love via my forehead.
You're true. And finally, the time came to reveal my first car. I failed mine, and I remember because in Tassie they do things a bit different on so many levels.
You do the whole feet down the bottom of the car. Yabba dabba doo.
So to all the Russians, welcome. All the ladies
It's got that dog in them.
and the Flintstones.
Yabba dabba doo.
Go off this weekend, kings and queens. All my love, Jodie.
Let's get ready to rumble. Ladies and gentlemen, Battle of the Bangers.
This is a super non-aggressive, not that competitive space.
That's ridiculous.
It's opposite day. It's really aggressive.
Okay, Battle of the Bangers, 2 songs. We pick a theme. They go head-to-head on the social channels. Jodie and Hazy, well, you know them better than me. You're the social media guy. Why don't you say it?
Jodie and Hazy on Instagram.
There we go.
Give us a follow while you're there. Thank you very much.
Thanks for stopping by.
He's got
Smash the follow button.
He's got some KPIs that he needs to live up to.
Yeah, and I am falling very short. Come on.
You know that video that you're looking at? Just let it keep on replaying.
Yeah,
okay?
yeah.
Get those views up.
Okay, so the theme this week, of course, Velo 500. So with every concert that's ever been at the Velo 500, we could choose from any of the artists or the songs. I went one of the most magnificent Australian singers of all time, and that was Pete Murray.
And I've got to agree with you. Jodie, seen better days. Sorry. Oh, I got the words mixed
What
up.
you reckon? Honestly, on the thinnest of ice this morning.
I know, because it's such a competitive space and my competitive juices are flowing and I took it too far. So for that, I apologise. To absolutely nobody. It's a good song. That's why I'm competitive, because every now and then you'll choose a song that I'm like, man, I really, really enjoy this song.
Anyway,
I
get
love
on with
Pete
it.
Murray.
Focus on your song. What was it?
I'm still proud of my selection, and that is one of the all-time greats, Nosebleed Section from the one and only South Australian Hilltop Hoods. Remember when I told you that I was at a charity function with Dan Smith, MC Dan?
Okay, name dropper. Yeah, go on then.
Yeah, and I guarantee I remember the conversation he doesn't. And I was asking him, I was like, mate, I'm going to be a fanboy for a second. Take us through the roots of that song. And he was like, just a couple of blokes, maybe doing something half illicit.
I don't think there's anything. There is no such thing as doing something half illicit. That's like being a little bit pregnant.
Maybe half smoking something illicit, who knows? And we just came up with this bit of a tune, sampled something else, and then it kind of launched us.
Oh, yeah, right.
Unbelievable, in the basement of one of our mates' houses.
Yeah, okay. And then he brought a boat, didn't he, at auction?
Yeah, he bought a boat. $10,000.
Anyway, what a fun night.
His wife was not happy.
No.
Oh,
right,
gosh, I need this, man. It's 21-17. I need this to stay in live because we are running out of weeks in the year for me to take a lead. Here we go. Do you want a drum roll there, big fella?
Absolutely, I do.
I'm so nervous. Oh, gosh.
It's Andrew Hayes with the Hilltop Hoods.
Oh, wow. It's one for the people, I would have thought this time.
Oh, is it? One for the people, is it?
Do you want me to just bash play?
Yeah, go on.
Ladies and gentlemen.
If that means you're going to shut up, then yeah, bash play, please.
It is now 21-18. Your winning song, Hilltop Hoods, Nosebleed section.
For my people in the front.
Where? Oh, nosebleed section. Yes.
I need to know. I need to know now.
I need to know. I need to know.
I need to know.
What's in the news today?
I need to know this.
Here's what you need to know.
What you need to know with Jodie and Hazy.
All happening down at Christie's Beach Magistrates Court today. All the news crews will be there because Mr. David Spears will be fronting court on what has now been downgraded. It was 2 drug supply charges. Now it's just been downgraded to 1. So, yeah, that will be your proverbial media circus outside of court today.
That would be a real power move. David Spears turns up with
His
a
baseball cap.
Yeah.
Yes! Remember when he did that, when he strutted through the Adelaide airport and he had his baseball cap on backwards? That was amazing.
And we spoke about it.
Yeah.
Producer Zoe was involved as well. And the overwhelming response was that it was really sexy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
and I didn't know.
On most people.
And remember, I tried it and you were like, well, that's not sexy, but other blokes, it's sexy.
Oh, yeah, it's a real thing. If you're a good-looking man and you wear your baseball cap backwards, row.
Wow, okay.
Okay.
Didn't work for this guy, but... Oh, well, we'll move on.
Oh, mate, you've had your fair share. Don't complain.
Yeah, I've had my time in a nice green pasture, but we'll move on. That's
Yeah,
fine.
exactly.
Joe, it's the weather outside is weather. What's happening for the weekend?
The weather outside is weather. What was that?
It's a quote from Forgetting Sarah Marshall.
Oh, okay, there you go. A little known quote, as it turns out. God.
Oh, take us through it, though.
Oh, mate, it's going to be hot tomorrow, 37 degrees. So if you're heading into the Velo 500 track, take your sunscreen, take your water, because bourbon and Cokes just won't cut it all day tomorrow.
No.
It really won't.
It's not good for staying hydrated.
No, exactly. Yeah, so 37. Mid-20s today. Still nice today if you want to get out amongst it. And then I don't know what's happening Sunday. That was supposed to be Tiff from 10 U's first job this morning, but she's not answering her phone. So.
She slept in. Oh, it's 8:50. Oh, gosh, how could she possibly get herself out of bed?
Oh, how could
she's
she?
probably at the gym.
Yeah.
She's probably slugging away at the gym.
I mean, I doubt it.
I just tried to cover up there. That's what happened. Oh, hey,
She
finally.
ain't your early riser, our Tiff. Let's put it that way.
That's okay. Hey, just to wrap it up as well, I don't want to end it on a downer, but this is very much a downer. And I'm sorry to say this, but Celebrations, the box of chocolate assortments,
yes,
they have been discontinued. So I've just learned this as well, that Celebrations obviously is a completely different company to Cadbury.
Yeah.
And all of these chocolates, these delicious chocolates, and we're talking, Mars, Snickers, Maltesers, Milky Ways, they're all part of different companies. They're not Cadbury chocolates. So obviously the big competition for Celebrations is your Cadbury favourites. And Cadbury favourites just about to enjoy another bumper Christmas, no doubt. Celebrations, no more.
Hey, in further breaking news, unrelated to this topic of conversation, did you know Pepsi and Coke are different companies?
Since when? Are you about to give me a did you know chat? Do you want me to launch back into the did you know that Tate McRae is in a relationship with the Kid Leroy? Did you know that Charlie Dixon retired?